Hey everyone, welcome back. It's another Finish It Feb 2021. This one is more on my fall festival, and I just went through and I pulled out a couple more pages and I've scored and cut them. And I think I was saying to you yesterday that I was going to round the corners of this thing here. So I did that. Now I don't have a punch that mimics that, unless I possibly could have used my envelope punch board, but I already did it just with this really old corner punch that I own. I think it's an EK Success, pretty sure. And you know, they come in all different shapes, and that's quite a significant one that cuts quite a lot of the corner off. But I didn't think that it looked too bad, and it'll be fine once it's in the book. And that led me to then going through and rounding the corners of the rest of the things. Now, the corner punch will go through this because that's just a single sheet, but there's some issue here because it's too thick for the corner rounder. So what I need to do is to take another one that's already rounded, like this one for example, and I can round that using it. So I just can make a mark. The other option is to put it in and just make a mark on it like that, and then cut it with the scissors, or put it here and then round it. And I've just missed that a tiny little bit, so I'm going to try and fix that to make it a little bit more of a curve. Probably won't make much difference. It's a little bit better, but anyway, I did better on some of the others. So I've gone through and everything I could, where I could, I've rounded those corners. I think that's a bit of a different look then, isn't it? You're getting something that, you know, isn't the norm. Now, I didn't do those two sheets. I've scored that piece in half that I was working on yesterday. But under here somewhere, I've got the one I was just about to do. Now, this is another piece of that with the pumpkins on the back, and I have cut sort of not quite half. I've just worked out on the cutter where I wanted the piece to end. So I wanted all this in, but I didn't want necessarily a whole 8-inch tall page. So I'm just going to round these corners and get that done. And also this one here. Now this is the one that has the little dog under the table, and I've already used that in my book. I used the top half, like the bottom half here when I did that, and I kept this part, and I think I've still got it hanging around here somewhere. So this time instead I just put the cutter where I wanted it to cut it, so that I had the little shelf with all the candles and things on the bottom of the page, and I've made that into a page in the book. But obviously I need to round these corners now. Now, the other exciting news of the day is that my Sugar Bell bottles arrived, and they are huge. I didn't think they were going to be this big. I was shocked when I opened the packet. So the actual bottle part is 5 1/4 inches tall. And how big are they? Now, I have put 2 of my fairly full Helmer's glues in there. So they're at least double the size of the Helmer's glue. I have a feeling, let me just get the packet. I just have to dig it out of the bin, sorry. The crunchy noise is me digging the packet out of the bin. This is the packet. Look how big they are. They barely fit in the camera. And looking at that now, they are 8 ounces. So 8 ounces is, in my measurement language, roughly, I guess, 500, is that right? 500 grams? No. Oh, no, it says on there 250. Oh, gosh, glad I didn't get 500. I wouldn't be able to hold it in my hand. It's, yeah, 236 mil. So, you know, our standard cup in Australia is 250 mil. So I think in America, a standard cup in cooking is only 200. But anyway, 8 ounce bottles, and super, super soft. This one hasn't got any glue in it, so I'll show you. They come in a packet of 2, but look how squeezy and soft that is. And so it's just really easy to squeeze it, and hopefully the glue should come out super easy. And I have a funnel, so I just put the funnel in the top, tip the glue bottle upside down and let it sit, you know. I let the last one sit overnight and just weighted. So there you go. If you're looking for those, I think they do make a smaller one, but for some reason I got the huge one. There you go. I'm just telling you, because they're actually for icing, that you should hand wash them in warm water, but I don't think I'll be washing them in anything. So hopefully you can undo all of this mechanism at the top, and fingers crossed that that's going to work and I'm not going to have any more glue problems. Although I had actually solved, you know, the majority of the glue problems anyway. Since I invested in the bottles, I've decided that I'll use them. So now I want to start doing some, you know, putting them together, because I like to see where I'm up to. I cut this one. I thought that that might make a good cover. So that's the full 8 by 12, and I've scored it in half. But some of them are quite bulky, as usual. All my things lately seem to be turning out quite in a bulky way. Now I might just round the corners of some things as I go through as well. So I've just noticed I've got this little card in here, and I think it will look sweeter. Actually, I might leave it as a bit of a, you know, tag shape like that. Pop that back in that little thing there. It's very cute. And just to work out what I want. So not necessarily in the order that I'll finish up with, but just to show you. So this one is the trifold that I did yesterday. That's going to get sewn through there, and that'll be on that side of the page. And then this one here, this is another, oh, that's the one I cut this morning, the full piece. And then I do have this one as well. That I cut this morning as well. Let's get one of these ones that I've done. This one here, this is the big thick one. So like I said, not necessarily the order that I put them in. I don't know what I'm going to do with the puppy dog yet. The wood, this one, I just want to see how thick it's all going to be. So I may end up having to do more than one signature. And I do want to include book pages and old papers, because I've actually pulled them all out already. And I need to include them. So this one, I thought there was a little one somewhere. Oh, here. This one here. They look really nice with the rounded corners, I think. And, oh, here's a bigger one. What else have we got? So like I said, not the order that they'll go in. So you can see I've cut this one down more than the original one. I kept that going up to the top. I may even cut it down some more. I'm not really sure yet what I'm going to do. So that seems to be all of the pages, and like, yeah, super thick. Super thick, this one. Okay, I may have to do more than one signature. I'll see how I go. I might even make a cover for this one. But on the inside here, I'm going to put this little thing that I made yesterday with the puppy dog. So he's going to go there, and I just wanted to see about how that would sit in there. I have some seam binding that I'm going to use, and it's just in this nice brown, which I thought matched quite well. I tend to just buy a lot of seam binding, you know, at the one time. I'll go and buy, you know, 5 meters of each of the colors that I like and that I know that I'll use. So, you know, the pink, the browns, the greens. I may have some blue, but probably not. But I probably should get some blue, because I do have a few blue journals. All those sorts of colours. And then I just keep it in a big jar so that when I need it, it's there ready for me to use. I'm just getting my double-sided tape. I want to put this down on the back here. This is being glued onto the piece, but I also want the seam binding to stay in one spot. I don't want it to move, you know, around. I'd like it centered as well as best I can. Let's pop that on there, and then all of that can go down there. Now let's use the Sugar Bell bottle and see what we think of it. So for a start, it's so much easier to squeeze to get that glue down, and look at that little bead of glue that's coming out. Hopefully you can see that. It's brilliant. Look at that. Wow. Okay, we'll see if See if it continues to be good or if it bubbles. But it certainly gives you a little tiny bead of glue. You can see there. Let's get this down while it's still wet. I think I'm just going to tie a bow with this one because I want to be able to get it open so I can access what's inside of it. That's quite cute. All right. Now with this, I'm just wondering if this will be my front cover or if maybe I will do some sort of other cover on it. Certainly if I go to more than one signature, I'll be putting a cover on it to bring the 2 signatures or 3, I don't know how much it'll be, 2 or 3 signatures together. I like the little puppy dog. I'm not a dog person, but he's very cute. He's got a little whimsical little look on his face, hasn't he? So I like him. All right, I might put this down and make it into a pocket. I like that they have positioned the leg of the table at the halfway point. So they've really thought about the design, you know, that's not in the middle of the dog or the pumpkin, that when you fold that, you get 2 separate vignettes like that. I really like how they've managed to do that, or they've done that on purpose, I assume. So well done Minte, whoever's doing the design for this. I think that'll be all right there, won't it? This piece I have rounded the corner and I'm putting it down. It was just a piece I had left over. And I've put a notch in it so it'll be a pocket on this page here. I'm really going to have to get some tags and things out and create some contrast between these pages. I can tell that right now. Now, I want to cover this because we don't have fall here in Australia. We have autumn. It's the same season, but we call it something different. So I think some fussy cutting and adding to the flowers that are on here will take care of that. I've cut this flower out from my fussy cut sheet and it's going to go on probably around this way, I think. I don't mind if it goes up over the edge of that pocket a little bit. I don't think I've got any glue on there. No, that's fine. And then this edge I will trim back. It's only a tiny bit. And I've hidden that word or those words. I think that's, you know, just great for me, personally for me. I wanted to hide them. But, you know, even if you live in Australia, you don't have to hide the word that says fall. We all know what it means. It's just not a word that we use. So I'm not sure why. Why do we call it autumn? I guess because the English call it autumn and our sort of country is built on the English, well, from a lot of English and people and Scottish and Welsh and things like that. But I have English forebears as well. Convicts were transported to Australia. Probably a good thing in some instances, I think. Now I want to create some more pockets, and am I happy with this? Yes, that one is done. So I'll pop it over there so I can get on with the rest. Now this one, I think that is done. Will I put something on this page? With this one, I'm going to put an image, or these flowers actually, in that frame. So I want to be able to make sure that I don't cut the legs of the dog off when I do this. So will that cut the legs of the dog off? Just. Okay, I'm going to have to come down there. All right. I'll just trim his toes just ever so slightly. Let's cut this out and see. Don't mind cutting through the bells because I think they'd be quite difficult to fussy cut anyway. So I wanted to put this in here. Maybe I can put it up this way. No, I like what I had before, like that. I think that's fine. And then I'll pop that down there. I'm not going to worry about a pocket or anything with this one. I think I'll just leave it as just a decorative item. You don't have to have pockets everywhere. They're good because you can put things in them, but you don't need to have them everywhere. There's plenty of pockets in this one already. This one here, just wondering what, if anything, I wanted to do with this one, and I'm not sure I want to do anything with it. I've got that again. I could do the same thing. I could just put a thing there. I am going to use one of these. These are the little journaling tags. Oh look, they've got a frame with the flowers in it. I could have just cut that out. Oh well, I created my own without realising that they've already got them like that. Never mind. I think I'm going to maybe use this log one up here. So I will cut it out. I will just, fairly loosely cut around these little bits that are popping up because the stems are so tiny. There's no way that I could fussy cut the edges of them. I mean, somebody else might be able to, but I'm just not that good. I really don't think I can achieve that. If I did that, I would just make a complete and utter mess of it. This is not meant to be fussy cut, but a lot of the stuff that has a similar problem, and I just wonder why they do that. If they know that they're giving you a sheet specifically to fussy cut, then surely they should then say, oh well, we need to consider what's on the fussy cut sheet. Now this will go here. It's going to block a lot of that off, isn't it? I don't want to put it up higher, although I could. I do want to make something from this though, because that just looks a bit silly how it's flat on the bottom. I've just rounded that up and I can put it down here. It looks a bit funny now with the bits poking down the bottom, doesn't it? I might have to move it across a little and put those leaves. Actually, what I'm going to do is those leaves are going to go. I've just realised that they can use the leaves underneath as the leaves that were there. I can pretend that the leaves underneath are for that. You've got some poking out this side and some poking out this side now. And I'll ink it up because that will help resolve some of the issues of it really showing that it's a piece on top. Not that I really mind that actually. I do want the pumpkin to be up straight though. And I'm thinking that I'm also going to take it and trim this edge so it can sit against the binding, the centre of the book. Let's see. That's going to help it blend in a bit more too, I think. Now the question is, do I need some more leaves on top, or is that good enough? When I look at it in the camera, in the picture that I'm looking at, then that looks okay, but looking at it on the page, I think I need to put something on top of here and here. And I do have plenty of leaves because they put this one on, and I think unless you took that whole section as a circle, that might be really, really hard to actually make that work. But if I cut some of these leaves out, then I could use those on the top, couldn't I? Actually, might poke this under, like that. That looks much better. Okay, so we'll put this down. And now with the back of these, I'm going to put a pocket down. And I'm thinking that this log would make quite a good pocket. So I'll start with this one, which will go on here. Now before I put it down, I'll round the corner so I don't have to struggle to do that after it's down. I'm not notching it this time. Just, you know, mix it up a bit and don't put a notch on it. I think that looks good. And then on this side, I may as well just use the next piece. So I think I can still get a fairly good pocket out of this one. And this time that corner needs to be rounded down here. So they're fairly plain, but there's so much else going on within the journal that I think that that will work fine. Let's see, this page here, see there's a lot going on here. I've got a tuck spot and then another one, another sort of thing tucked in there. And then this is actually stuck to this. So this has got a lot going on. And then that's the one that I did yesterday. Got another little journaling spot in here. So I think that's all good. I don't think we need to put anything more on that. It's actually really heavy too. I think I'll leave this one as it is. I scored it in half this morning and that's all done. And then that's the little thing. Now I need some pockets and, you know, tags and things to go in there. Then I've got this here. Let's see what we have to do on here. I don't know if I should decorate this up a bit. It's looking a bit bland, isn't it? This is the problem. I get sidetracked and think about other things instead of the one I was looking at. All right, that's fine. This one here is fine. It's got heaps on it. And then this one here, that's just the plain one. I'm not changing the pumpkins. Love the pumpkins. I don't think I need to do anything on here either, because I've got a fair bit, you know, decoratively when it's in the book, that'll be a fair bit. It's really just this piece that I wanted to do something more with. I do have some more of these. I'm not sure why I've got so many of these half logs, but I must have had plenty of those down. Now it's brown as well, so I'm not sure I want to put brown on brown. What's on the other side? That pretty paper. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. That's fitting quite nicely in there. So I will create a tag to go in there. So what I might do now is just start to create some tags. There's no point in having all these pockets if I don't have tags, is there? Now I do have these and I can create something out of these. I think that's, well, that should be okay in there, one of them. Just have to pick which one I want. Let's put this in here. Yeah, that's great because it's light and I like the pumpkin and the little vignette, and there's room on the back for journaling. Thanks for watching everyone. This is Deborah. Cheers.